Over the past 3 years, player behavior in the game industry has changed in very noticeable ways. This change isn't simply about people playing more games. It goes deeper than that. It affects what players choose to play, how they engage with games, and how they spend money. So, in this video, I want to explore one central question. How have player taste, engagement, and spending behavior changed in recent years, and what trends are driving these changes? My main argument is that over the past 3 years, player behavior has gradually shifted toward mobile platform live service games. And this shift is reshaping how players choose games, how they engage with them, and how they spend money. In other words, players are not simply playing more. Instead, they are more likely to stay in a small number of games for a long time, more dependent on continuously updated content, and more willing to invest time and money into a stable game ecosystem. This trend is driven not only by changes within the game industry, but also by broader lifestyle shifts. After the pandemic, digital entertainment became part of everyday life. Online spaces increasingly serve social and emotional functions. In this context, mobile gaming plays a key role because it is accessible, convenient, and tightly integrated into daily routines. First, let's look at how player taste has changed. One clear trend is this. Players are shifting from constantly trying new games to staying in familiar ones over the long term. Data shows that more than 60% of PC and console playtime is now spent on games that are over 6 years old. This means players are no longer frequently switching games. Instead, they prefer to remain in existing ecosystems where they already have social ties and accumulated progress. Games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, and GTA 5 share common features: continuous updates, long-term operation, and strong social systems. This suggests that player taste is changing structurally. It is no longer just about novelty or visual quality. Instead, players now value familiarity, stable social relationships, ongoing content updates, and their own past investment of time and emotion. In other words, players prefer to stay in a world rather than constantly explore new ones. At the same time, emotional value has become increasingly important. Data shows that 68% of players play games to relax. This shows that players are not choosing games only for gameplay. They are choosing them for emotional support. And this is where mobile and live service games have a strong advantage. Next, player engagement has also changed significantly. Players are no longer just playing games. They are continuously participating in the entire game ecosystem. About 85% of players now engage with gaming beyond gameplay, through watching content, joining communities, and following creators. This means engagement now includes both in-game activities, such as logging in, completing tasks, and joining events, and out-of-game behaviors like watching streams and participating in online communities. This shift strongly aligns with live service design. These games rely on continuous updates, community interaction, and recurring events. Players are not just experiencing a game once, they are staying within a system over time. Mobile platforms further strengthen this model. Because of their accessibility, players can engage throughout the day, during short breaks, through daily tasks, or by joining limited time events. As a result, games become a high-frequency part of everyday life. Another important shift is the growing social function of games. Around 74% of players regularly play with others. This shows that games are no longer just entertainment products, they are also social spaces. This also means that the industry is no longer competing simply for time, but for attention. And in this competition, mobile and live service games have a clear advantage. In terms of spending, the shift is even more obvious. The US game market reached about $59.3 billion in 2024, with $51.3 billion coming from content spending. This shows that spending has shifted from one-time purchases to ongoing spending. Instead of simply buying a game once, players now spend continuously through microtransactions, DLC, battle passes, and subscriptions. At the same time, mobile gaming has become the main driver of growth. Global mobile game revenue reached about $82 billion, even though downloads declined. This means revenue growth is coming from existing players, not new ones. In addition, spending is becoming highly concentrated. A large portion of industry revenue is now generated by a small number of top games. So overall, players are not necessarily spending more. They are concentrating their time and money on a small number of long-term games. In response to these trends, new technological directions are emerging, such as cloud gaming. Games usually require high-performance hardware. But if most of the computation is handled in the cloud and streamed to the player's device, this could significantly reduce hardware requirements. Game data can also be stored in the cloud, allowing players to access the same game across different devices. Services like Xbox Cloud Gaming already allow players to play on both PC and mobile. However, cloud gaming is still in development. It faces challenges such as latency, data transmission, and real-time rendering, which require advanced infrastructure. Platforms like NVIDIA GeForce Now are already expanding in this area. Looking ahead, I would describe my perspective as cautiously optimistic. Mobile and live service models bring challenges such as larger game sizes and greater storage demands. Many large mobile games now require significant space, and some players even switch to tablets to run them. This suggests that the boundary between PC and mobile may gradually become blurred. At the same time, I remain optimistic. A focus on retention, long-term operation, and continuous updates helps build more complete worlds, create meaningful characters, and extend the lifespan of game IPs. However, I also have a concern. Player time and spending are becoming highly concentrated in a small number of familiar games. This may limit the visibility of new ideas and reduce diversity. Still, this also means that if a new game offers stable emotional value, continuous updates, and strong social connection, players and platforms will support it long term. This can even expand into fan creations, media adaptations, and IP development. To conclude, the changes in player taste, engagement, and spending behavior over the past 3 years represent a clear structural shift. Players are gradually moving toward mobile platforms and live service games, redefining how games are used, from short-term experiences to long-term participation. However, this does not mean PC or traditional single-player games are disappearing. Instead, different platforms now serve different roles. Mobile gaming emphasizes frequent, everyday engagement, while PC and console games focus on immersive, deep experiences. The industry is not shrinking. It is expanding in multiple directions. From a broader perspective, games are evolving from products into systems, even long-term cultural spaces. Players are not just consumers, they are participants. Games are not just content, they are social and emotional environments. So the future of the game industry is not about one platform replacing another, but about how different forms can coexist, balance each other, and continue to provide meaningful experiences. Finally, player behavior is not only shaped by technology and business models, but is also shaping the future of the industry itself. The key challenge moving forward is how to maintain creativity, diversity, and new possibilities while still supporting long-term systems and efficient monetization.